Will and we got Emily. So last time we left off, you guys were talking about the Facebook comment. Emily reached out to shoot her shot. She's like, "Oh, look at Will's brand new profile pic." And then Will, what happened after she sent you that?
I think I messaged you. I messaged you on Instagram, or no, on Facebook Messenger.
On Facebook, yep.
And we started talking, and then
who asked who out on a date?
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Right. We video chatted.
Okay. So you guys video chatted.
Well, one thing about that video chat. So both of us hate video chats. She has a speech impediment. I hadn't talked to her in 7 years, and when we did know each other in middle school, I didn't understand her very well at all. When we video chatted that first time, we talked for 7 hours straight, and neither of us. It didn't feel like any time had gone by, and I was like, "This girl is so different." Like I've never had a conversation with like a guy friend that lasted that long, let alone a girl. You know?
You're not supposed to 7 hours in a long time.
But like, and there was no awkward silence. It was just like it was the best conversation I ever had.
Now, I'm sorry, when you did the FaceTime, where like did you guys like type and FaceTime or?
No, we were just talking. She wasn't using that thing at all. No.
Oh, okay.
And in the beginning, I had to ask her to spell stuff out sometimes, so she would, right, because I would get hung up on a word. But then, it just got easier and easier. And, and then we did it again like the next day for like
FaceTime?
4 hours. Yeah. And then.
How'd you ask her out?
Did I ask you? I think. Right. I asked her over to my house.
What did she say?
She said, I don't really know you that well. Like I invited her to my place and she was like, "Oh, I don't really know you like that well." Like so. So how about you come over to my house?
Okay.
And really it was because your mom really didn't want you going anywhere during COVID. And so I was the first person to go to their house during the entire COVID because Emily's mom had that place locked down.
I'm going to say really quick, Emily, has your mom allowed you to do that before?
I never had the opportunity.
She never really had the opportunity.
I have gone over
somebody else's house?
who are good.
With girls, yeah. Never got no.
How nervous?
Were you nervous? Extremely nervous. But then I came over and we had pizza.
Yo,
that was the first time I fed her, and she was so nervous. She was so anxious.
Was everybody like staring at you guys to see?
No, they left us alone.
Ooh, okay.
But then we watched. Was that same day when we watched Raiders of the Lost Ark? I made you watch that. So we went inside. This is when she was so nervous to like say no. Like so I was like, you want to watch Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones? Like I love Indiana Jones. And she was like, okay. She hated it. But I didn't like. And then I like put my arm around you, and you were like. So at this point, she still didn't think I was interested in her like that.
Even though you made it to her house?
Yeah, she didn't. She thought I just wanted to be like friends. And okay. I was like, we had been before I came over to the house. We had been talking video chats like every day for like 2 weeks.
In those video chats, did you tell her how you felt?
I don't think so. Not explicitly, no.
So it was just friendly, like super friendly conversation.
Yeah, well, I was kind of nervous too. I mean, I hadn't been with anybody for a while. I mean, I've been on some dates, like, you know, but not like I hadn't been in a relationship really. I mean, really, I never really was in a relationship. I mean, high school for maybe like 6 months was the longest one before her. Now, you know,
And did you,
but never
you didn't really
really
count those? You didn't really count
No,
those?
I don't think so. You know, and I had other relationships, but they weren't like emotional sort of relationships with people. So, you know,
So this is
like a real adult relationship.
So this is your first real adult.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we know everything about each other. She knows everything about
Everything?
She knows everything. I know everything. You know, it's not. So I don't know. I wouldn't say we talk about it that much anymore. I mean, at this point, we know every detail about each other's past. So there's nothing to really talk about in terms of that. You know?
Okay.
In terms of our past, at least.
So with Emily having cerebral palsy, now, is it something that has progressed, or has it always kind of been where it's at now?
It's non-progressive.
It's non-progressive. Okay, so in 8th grade, she was just as okay as now.
So
Okay.
we were just telling him actually when you were getting the water that so cerebral palsy is kind of a big spectrum, and it's like it's damage. It's basically it's like damage to the cerebrum between like birth and like 1 year old.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's got it was your cousin you said, who's like just his left arm is affected, but he can walk, talk, you know, all that stuff. But the way it happened with Emily is, you want me to just tell it? But when she came out of the womb, she had no blood. She was dead. And so they put a bunch of new blood into her and brought her back to life. But the timing or whatever it was, there was damage to the cerebrum, so that's how it affects her. But I also had a friend in college who had cerebral palsy, and his presented differently because everybody's cerebral palsy presents differently.
Yeah.
So he had a tighter left arm, and he kind of limped with his left leg, and he had a speech impediment, and his cognition was also a little bit affected. Emily's cognition isn't affected at all; it's just physical. But so it's different. But with him, he had his umbilical cord wrapped around his neck. So he didn't get enough oxygen to that part during birth.
Yep.
Right. So it's very it's a huge spectrum. But no, it's not progressive. So what it is how it is for life. You know. I mean, obviously, people who don't stretch their there's little things you can do to make it better or worse. You know.
And you can tell me if I'm wrong. You guys ever heard of it turns you upside down basically, so it stretches out your. Yeah, like an anti-gravity machine, or those
I mean, it's really just more just physical therapy. Stretching can make it easier for her on tight days. But really what it is with hers is it's like some days you got really tight muscles and they're really hard to control. But just basically think about it like everything that she has to do to move any muscle in her body takes a lot of mental effort, to control. No, you describe it better than me. The brain has all these messages. That it sends to your body. To move any part. All the time. The messages don't reach where they have to go.
Wait, was she done? Can you break down exactly what she said?
Yeah,
before?
so she's saying that there's messages that your brain sends to move all the muscles, right? Me doing this is all messages. So with her, the messages get cut off. So maybe she has to send 10 messages to do the one thing, or 100 to do the one thing, because sometimes they just don't reach the destination.
Right.
So the other thing, the other reason school was annoying was because for her to write a paper, right? So she'll write it on her iPad, but for her, that's not only mental effort, but that's for you and I, it would be like running a marathon in terms of burning calories. That's why she's so fit, because it takes so much effort.
That much energy.
Yeah. So that takes a crazy amount of willpower. She's got a lot of friends who didn't even because it's hard work to do that stuff.
Oh yeah. So I want to ask you guys, Pretty sure you guys talked about getting married. All right. Is that something you guys want to do?
That's the plan.
Okay. And then how do you guys feel about children? Got something.
He wants. Okay. I want kids. She does not want kids.
You don't want any. Now, you don't want any like the natural way, or you don't want any at all? At all? Is it? And you can tell me right or wrong. Is it because Will is because how much it'll be on Will, or is it just internally how you feel? Part of it. Okay.
The other part, she just doesn't have an interest in raising a kid.
Have you ever been around a young child for a long period of time?
When she was in high school, she worked in a preschool because they had like an early childhood program.
Did you like it?
She did. She just doesn't want her own.
They felt good at giving kids back. Like, take yours, you take yours, you take yours. I'm going home.
So that was kind of our, maybe someday she'll change her mind, but we at this point we're just like, we'll just be aunt and uncle to my best friend's kids when he has them, and then we'll take them for a weekend, and then when we get sick of them, we can just send them back.
Send them back, right? Yeah, that's
so that gives me a little bit of fatherhood experience.
Yep.
But not the full-time thing.
Yep.
And we're gonna have a dog. That's gonna be the baby.
Okay, you don't have any animals now?
No.
Okay, but you guys definitely want a dog.
Yeah, we can't in the apartment right now.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I definitely would have already. There was one there was a Chihuahua she wanted to get in Texas because it was blind in one eye. She hates Chihuahuas. And I was like, really, you want this Chihuahua? And she's like, yeah, because she's blind in one eye. She's disabled. I want her. And I was
Emily,
like,
what? Those are the worst.
Hey, I like Chihuahuas. They're cute. My dad has a Chihuahua.
I feel like Chihuahuas, because dogs, I like when dogs are quiet and protective.
Yeah.
Chihuahuas are unprotective and very loud. Right, they're very loud and unprotective.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's what when we talked about having a dog, I'm like, I want a dog that is I can train enough and is obedient enough where if I gotta leave the house, I can leave the dog with Emily, and I know if something happens, that dog is
on point, right?
Yeah.
And Emily, you'd want a big dog too?
Yeah.
Outside that Chihuahua?
She always had big dogs growing up.
Okay. I want to switch it up a little bit. I have a question, right? It's totally off topic, but I just think it'd be a good question to ask. If you guys could control, right, how the laws are set up, should the victims, family, choose the sentencing for the criminal, or for the not victim, for the, what do you call those people? The perpetrator?
Perpetrator.
Right? Should the family of the victim choose a sentence for the perpetrator, or should we leave it for a jury?
Man, that's a loaded question. I think. I'll go first. I think it's more complicated. I think it's got to be more than a jury. I think the system as it is right now is, can I swear? Fucked up. It's totally fucked up. Everything. Capitalism, the justice system in this country, it's all fucked up. And, I don't think either of those two are the answer. I don't know what is the answer.
So hold on. So if not the jury, if not the family, who should choose?
I think if it's a jury, I think jury is ideal, but it's got to be a fair jury. And most people don't get a fair jury in this country.
Right.
Most people don't get a impartial jury or an impartial judge, man. Even the judges have biases.
Okay.
You look at who gets a light sentence and who gets a big sentence.
So who do you think you should be up to?
I
lay
think,
down.
Man,
lay down
I don't know, man. I mean,
I think certain crimes should just be
Yeah, man. Like,
No jury, no nothing.
No,
well, it's about proving if they're innocent or guilty.
right.
Or wait, are you talking about the punishment or if they're guilty or innocent?
So no. The if they're innocent or guilty goes to the judge, right? And the lawyers will state the case. The judge will decide. But now when it comes to sentencing, right?
Oh, like what the punishment should
What the
be.
punishment should be? Should the family choose? Or
Man,
should
that's
the
tough, man. Because
jury
like,
choose?
If they're convicted,
Yes, after they're convicted. Yep.
if so,
circumstantial proof doesn't depend on what it is.
Right.
It's like a murder, a rape, things along those lines. Absolutely.
Leave it for the family.
Absolutely. I think
Leave for the family,
whatever they want.
yeah, no, yeah, stuff like that. But like, oh well, I mean, that would only apply to ones where there is a victim of the crime, right? So like
Right.
drug crimes, it's not going to affect that, right? So,
Right. No.
So like, yeah, I guess
Unless
the
the drug
family
addict
then,
of
yeah.
the family of the drug addict could.
Oh, she has something.
Okay. Perfect.
If the crime affects the family, then they should choose.
Right.
They should
Right.
choose. Okay. Okay.
And you know what else? That's got to apply to everything, even like cops shooting people,
I agree.
right?
Yep.
Like if a cop shoots somebody, the family, if we're doing that for other things,
Yep.
like that's a murder.
So,
Like,
so it should be for everybody. It
Yeah.
should be family should
no
choose.
pardoning.
as
Well,
lo-
get rid of qualified immunity, right?
Oh,
Like,
of
you
course.
know, all that shit. You
Of
know.
course. Yeah.
That's what it is. That's
course.
what it is. Because
Okay.
they're all part of the same gang, man. They're part of the same system. It's a gang.
It is 100% a gang. It's 100% a system that is incredibly hard to break. But I thought that would be a good question. We're gonna take another quick break and we're gonna jump into some more. Well, I got like a few more little snappy questions to get you thinking.
Don't
Okay.
get me too into politics.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go.